All right, guys, welcome to Classic Rural Comedies, Facts, and Trivia. Now, when you think about Andy Griffith Show spinoffs, what do you think about? Goober Pyle, USMC, yep. Did you know that Goober Pyle had his own spinoff from the Andy Griffith Show in the late 70s? Goober deserves more respect. Gomer gets plenty of attention, yet his cousin Goober appeared in far more episodes of the Andy Griffith Show, nearly 4 times as many. And while Gomer continues to be the center of attention on his own Goober Pyle USMC, loyal Goober continued to pump gas in Mayberry on Mayberry RFD. In fact, George Lindsay continued playing Goober Pyle long after the Andy Griffith Show, and Goober Pyle USMC ended in the 60s. The Alabama-born actor portrayed Goober several times on Hee Haw throughout the 70s. Oh, yeah, and Goober got his very own sitcom spinoff. You won't find a single mention of it on the Andy Griffith Show Wikipedia page. Talk about no respect. The pilot for Goober and Trucker's Paradise premiered as a special on CBS in the spring of '78, a decade after the Andy Griffith Show said goodbye. Might not surprise you to learn that the network did not pick up the pilot as a series. Otherwise, you'd have heard much more about it, and Wikipedia probably would have had a page devoted to it. Now, while it may have been a failed pilot, Trucker's Paradise remains a fascinating slice of Mayberryana for fans of the Andy Griffith Show, because it greatly increased the size of the Pyle clan. Goober and Gomer were cousins, as I mentioned. The Goober character became an unseen joke in season 3 of the Andy Griffith Show, as Gomer would repeatedly tell Andy that Goober says hey, before Lindsay made the charmingly dopey fellow Flesh and Blood in season 4. Aside from those two like-minded kinfolk, I hardly ever see any other Pyles, though we do hear Gomer talk about his grandma Pyle. Goober, on the other hand, had several siblings. They keep crawling out of the woodwork. Goober's brother Braden rolls back into town in the Mayberry RFD episode called What Else? Goober's Brother. But then came Trucker's Paradise. The roadside diner at the center of the sitcom was crawling with Pyles. The establishment was owned by Goober's sister, Pearl Pyle, played by Leigh French. And continuity mean nothing to classic TV producers. French was no longer no stranger to Pyles. In fact, you might recognize her as the pretty hippie Michelle in Flower Power, a memorable episode of Goober Pyle. Look, here's Gomer side by side with the woman who would be his cousin. Pearl, who spouted lines like, tear off my arms and call me a clothespin, was just one of the several charming Pyle sisters. There were also the bombshells, Tony Pyle, played by Lindsay Bloom, and Becky Pyle, played by Audrey Landers. Not even the official Mayberry Wikia includes them on Gomer's family tree, but here's the proof that they existed. This being 1978, it seems as if the network was clearly trying to capture some of that Charlie's Angels and Three's Company mojo, with a heaping dose of Alice thrown in. Don't get me wrong, this was a rural comedy appealing to fans of Mayberry and Hee Haw. They even remembered to include a comedy deputy character played by John Chappell, who somehow ended up in a slew of sequel spinoffs, including the new WKRP in Cincinnati and Aftermash. While somewhat derided today, those two shows were successes in comparison to this one-off. Did you ever see Trucker's Paradise? Can you let me know? And if you did, can you add to Wikipedia? Hope you guys enjoyed this. I've always thought it was cool. But it was just sad that they didn't get more out of it than what they did, because they could have got some mileage out of it, I think, if they would have went like in the early 70s instead of the late. But they did what they did. All I got for you here, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Please don't forget to subscribe. If you have not yet, please like this video. I would appreciate it. You guys have a great day. God bless you. And I'm praying for you.